no action. So in managing the employee performance, so yes, it's correct also what you mentioned, Aiman, is about discipline. And then in terms of managing performance, the low performer, there will be a period. It is not just an open period like 1 year. Normally we'll start with 3 months, 3 months and 6 months. Okay, so in all the months that first month, second month, third month, the supervisor will send to a report to HR. Okay, and if needed, there might be a counseling session. Okay, so it is, if the performance still doesn't meet the expectation, we will issue a letter, so-called a improvement letter lah. So what we call a reminder. Okay, if in terms of disciplinary, it will become a disciplinary letter. Okay, so if an employee still doesn't meet the expectation after 3 months, example, if cannot meet, then we will extend to 6 months. Okay, then during that period, we will have a lot of letters to hand it over. And let's say the second section of the month, second quarter, the employee improved, then we will decide whether we were going to continue to strictly monitor, or we're going to end the process if the performance is already acceptable. Aiman, am I answering you?
For sure, yes.
Okay.
So since you talk about later, right? So how long it takes to the employee to get or to be fired by the company, which is like you said, from 3 months to 6 months, and if the employee still not change their attribute, so what the period or duration for them to be fired from the company?
Okay, for the maximum for a company, not Dynacast only lah. This is a practice in the market. So normally is the most the company can stand normally 1 year or 12 months. It's not only Dynacast, it's practiced by most of the company. So this is where an employee will need to involve a lot, and before any termination or separation, there will be a lot of process. All the documented evidence should be there before we proceed with the process that you mentioned just now. So it is not a simple way to dismiss as employee. Via the performance. Performance, normally in managing performance, there is need to. First, we need to give time for employee to improve. And second, there shall be a lot of evidence and meetings to ensure that employee are tracking all the data. If no data, then just simply talk, it is difficult for us to proceed with the next level. Okay, Aiman?
Okay, thank you very much. I also have another question, but I give a chance to another.
Okay, maybe you can save for later.
I'll save for later. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Boleh. Okay. Untuk syarikat atau untuk pekerja? Okay. So, nak contoh training atau macam mana? Okay. Okay, boleh. So, one of the training ataupun salah satu training yang kita beri pada pekerja kita adalah so-called macam COVID. Last time kita ada COVID kan, COVID prevention. So, macam mana how to manage ataupun untuk untuk face dengan COVID lah. Example, wear mask, okay. And then make sure you test yourself, test kit before you enter, okay. And then make sure yourself is healthy. Kalau tak sihat atau sesama atau apa, just let us know first, okay. Then this is orang kata COVID punya prevention lah. Dan untuk training ataupun latihan yang berkaitan dengan kerja, salah satunya adalah berkaitan dengan pengendalian mesin. ataupun utama untuk operator lah. Okay, pengendalian mesin. So, jadi training yang kita bagi tu berkaitan dengan mesin yang mereka jalankan lah. Dari segi 1, proses 1, 2, 3 dan seterusnya. Okay, dan kebanyakan training kita bagi yang berkaitan dengan tugasan. Dan kalau nak contoh lain untuk HR, contoh macam saya cakap tadi, Employment Act ataupun Akta Buruh. Okay, secara asasnya adalah untuk HR tu tahu mengenai asas terhadap HR itu sendiri. Sebab kebanyakan asas HR kita ambil daripada Akta Buruh. Dan ada satu lagi IR Act. IR Act Industrial Relation. Okay. Untuk Akta Buruh, paling asas you all kena tahu untuk example for HR, first is orang kata paling basic is about the definition lah, you all kena faham. Okay, definition of employee. So kalau saya tanya apakah definisi employee, ada siapa can share with me?
Oh, dah habis oh my god. Terus fail tu. Tak tahu.
Yeah, whatever you know lah, just share. No right or wrong lah, just sharing lah.
Okay, Nisa, ada chance nak bagi tahu.
Kalau dari pandangan saya lah,
okay.
untuk employee ni, pekerja ni merupakan macam individu yang bersama-sama dalam satu syarikat untuk membangunkan syarikat tu, untuk bekerja dengan syarikat tu lah secara umumnya. Okay. Lain? Ada lain? Siapa yang nak cuba? Tak ada salah, tak ada betul. Jangan risau. Don't worry.
Wah. Ada lah. I think it's only for employees only to give their energy to gain capitalism or something like that.
Capitalism.
That's all I learned from economy, okay?
Okay.
Aduh.
Okay. Just orang kata just santai saja lah. I just share whatever I have lah. So initially based on law, employee definition is any employee that wages below than 4,000. Wages ni maksud dia is basic plus allowance, tak termasuk allowance transport lah. So dia as long as dia bawah 4,000, dia consider employee covered by law. Okay, covered by law. Maksudnya bawah 4,000 lah wages di kawasan dia. So let's say kalau employee tu dia punya wages is 5,000. Dia bukan tak cover dengan law. Still cover. Tapi on certain part. Not all. Okay, so for below 4,000, they will enjoy the overtime rate lah. This is law lah. I share about basic thing. So this is definition. So employee yang dengan wages bawah 4,000, dia akan enjoy OT 1.5. Yang above 4,000, dia tak dapat enjoy tu. So in term of maternity, semua orang dapat enjoy. Because, sebab apa? Dalam, hanya ada dalam Employment Act sahaja yang berkaitan dengan maternity leave 98 hari. Dalam akta lain tak ada. Okay? So, yeah, I hope saya menjawab soalan. Nisa, betul kan Nisa? Okay. Any other question?
Puteri, you can ask.
Okay, I want to ask you, Encik Sharil, in your experience, what do you think training and employers ni, training to employers ni are important to development in an organization? What do you think? Why it is important?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Puteri. That's a good question. So, for an organization, we want a skilled worker. We want someone that can work with less supervision. That is why we need development. And that is from company side. Company, we want employee skilled worker that can work with less supervision. From employee part, it is where employee can grow. Which part that you want to know more? Is it from a company or from employee side? Puteri? Hello, Puteri.
Can. No, because
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is a little bit slow, that's why. But
Okay,
then,
yeah.
Encik Sharil
Maybe
tadi yang apa? Which is the
Choose a company size or
company side or employee side. You nak Puteri. Kalau nak tahu tentang employee punya atau company punya.
Company.
Okay, company. Okay, I think for company, we want a skilled worker. We want an employee that can work with less supervision. That's why it's important for training. And then one more thing is compliance. Compliance is in Malay we call pematuhan lah. Okay, macam patuh undang-undang semua. Okay. So in other words, company need to comply to this rating. So this company side, what we normally a company want. First, for skilled worker, yes, we want employee that can work or productive with high quality. Okay, and then for the other side is with less supervision. Whenever employee can work with less supervision, then we can enhance the management or others supervisors scope as well. So which means they can perform better. So this is why development is important for employee and for a company. So for company, we for sure we want to improve. Most of company want to improve and want to have standard. This is where a company set a standard where everyone will have a same skill set. Example, if employee is not available, example on leave, so others can recover back or can back up. Okay, and I think for company we also want to improve or uplift the image as well for compliance. Most of company will start to comply to I think ISO. Have you all ever heard about it? Okay, so ISO, so this is one of the uplifting of the image ataupun menaikkan image syarikat lah. So that's why kita perlu beri training to the employee untuk dapatkan standard semua orang sama, because to start a standard is not easy. It takes time. It's not just tomorrow we can get it. Not as simple as that. So that's from company side. So for employee, I just share also about for employee side. For employee is for growth. If for example I give for operators, so let's say they already work for 5 years, it is important for them to move to the next level. So do you have most employee or people might think that in 5 years I need to have a better payout, right? They for sure will think about it. For even though for others level also 1 or 2 or 3 years they already start to think where they want to go next. So that's why we need to have training to equip the employee with the necessary skill for them to grow. Yeah, I think that's the point of view for employee side, employee and company side. Hope I answer you, Puteri. Adakah saya menjawab soalan?
Ya, Encik Sharil. Thank you.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
Right, so I just want to ask about one more there for performance appraisal wise on lah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask, like, does this for the performance appraisal for employees, does it based on KPI on key performance index previously, or is it is there a new process or something?
Oh, okay. So normally we based on KPI. Okay. So KPI is important for employee. Example for employee that work in any ground, regardless of operation or HR or office side. So they need and they will have KPI. So KPI is not it's not things that we need to neglect, because this is where we can know what our target. So before I share more about this part, I share about goals. That's goal from company goals. From the company goal, it will cascade down to all the management department, and the department will support or cascade down to the lower operation. So during for employee for the management side to decide the goal, so they will have the discussion. So the goal, the main goal is the company goal. So regardless of level, including operators, will tie back with the organization goal. Okay, so even though as a HR, we also need to tie with the company goal. It is not a so-called shot sendiri ya. Cannot be like that. That one anyone can achieve. Okay, shot sendiri, you buat saja, then you not tie with the company goal. Then whenever come to the appraisal, then the company assess you or evaluate you low. Then you will start to feel unsatisfied. Why? Because you're not tied with the company goal. And this is some sharing. Later when you are enter the working environment, you need to understand this. Your goal and company goal must be tally. If not tally, then you will be suffer or doing things for nothing because you're not tied with the company goals. This is what I'm sharing, because one of it is example lah. The company goals want to have a better operation. The company goal is very simple, but below that goal there is a small goal that will be cascade down to others. So which means company goals will have a lot of things below that. So whenever any assessment will be done, will be based on that. So that's why I think, as you mentioned, your question just now, what we need to understand is first we need to understand the goal first. Okay, and then once we understand, then we can start evaluate. Okay, and I think most company using a SMART goal, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. All goal will have time bound. A goal without time bound is a dream. Okay, ataupun mimpi saja, angan-angan lah. Okay, so you need to set the timeline. Okay, and yes, we will base on KPI to assess any employee. If they doesn't meet the KPI, which means they are not aligned with company goals. That's some explanation on that lah. Yeah, is it answering you, Hrikesh?
Yes, very clearly. Very nice. Okay, anyone else?
Yeah.
Okay, until me. Okay. Okay. Do you think it's useful to appraise the performance of the employees and why?
Oh, okay. All right, CC. So why we need to appraise? Why for company is we want to know the employee understanding or the level of the job, because if once employee company understand employee level, so we can start to develop them, prepare some we call TNA back, because we will need to reassess the employee and to prepare what we can do to help the employee. Let's say lack of example, this is just example. If the employee, the supervisor have issue on managing an employee, cannot manage an employee. So during the assessment, for sure it's not meet the company, but we will, after the assessment, company will start to give some training. So this is where we need to understand to assess the employee understanding, because if not, we cannot reach the standard that we want. And then why, which is for employee side, for sure, this is for growth. If not assessed and not being assessed by a company, then they also doesn't know where they are. Okay, CC?
Okay. Okay. This is a good question, good answer for me to answering to know this. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Next, return back to your answer about employee performance. I want to ask you about how do you keep the record about their improvement, like using WhatsApp, using